Greetings, everyone, as we begin this month of August, facing many challenges all around us, but always we are a people of hope. And that's what we continue to need to do, is to be a person of hope ourselves and spread that hope to all those around us. There's a story told by the writer Jack Kornfield of his work in a Cambodian refugee camp. After the Cambodian Holocaust, only parts of families survived. A mother and 3 children, an old uncle and 2 nephews, and each was given a little bamboo hut about 4 feet wide, 6 feet long, and 5 feet high. In front of each hut, there was a little patch of land, perhaps no bigger than 1 square yard. After only a few months of camp life, next to most of the huts in their little squares of ground, people had planted gardens. They would have a squash plant with 2 or 3 small squash on it, or a bean plant, or some other kind of vegetable. The plants were very carefully tended, with little bamboo stakes for support. The tendrils of a bean plant would wind around the stake and up over the roof of the house. Every day, each refugee family would walk a mile and stand for a half hour in a long line at the pit well at the far end of the camp and carry back a bucket of water for their plants. It was a beautiful, beautiful thing to see these gardens, says Kornfield, in the middle of this camp during the dry season, when you could barely believe that anything would grow in such a barren field. As these war-shattered families planted and watered their tiny gardens, they awakened the unstoppable force of life. What a great story and model for each one of us. No matter what difficulty or suffering we may experience, each one of us also has the ability to awaken this unstoppable life force. If we just look at John's Gospel, he tells us about this unstoppable life force. John tells us that the light came into the world, but too many people love the darkness rather than the light. But the light has come into the world, and the light always is conquering the darkness. And we are called to be aware of this light, to move away from the darkness, to realize that we do not have to be swallowed up in the darkness. Certainly that was the beauty of those Cambodian refugees, who were able to reach deep into themselves and awaken this unstoppable force of life. This light, which is God in each one of us. So as we begin this month of August, time goes quickly and the fall will come, facing certainly many challenges, certainly a lot of challenges for parents and our children going back to school. Let us realize that we do not have to be swallowed up in the darkness. That the light of Christ is in each one of us, and the grace of God enables us to bring forth this unstoppable force of life in our families, in your marriages, in all of our individual lives. Have a wonderful, peaceful week, everybody.